How are you? Well, I'm here to say, well, hold on. First, I'm here to say, I hope you're having a good day. And to apologize for all the technical issues last night that were with the videos. And, I was so frustrated when the technology was the way it was. It was just insanity, okay? Absolute insanity to try to deal with that. Hi, Nicole Griffith. And I was most upset because I had spent like several hours. I had several more stories and all kinds of stuff that I had worked into this kind of like what I thought was going to help. Like it was like its own little video in a video. And then I thought I would be able to play it. Hi, Sherry Shirley. Hi, Tracy B. And I was unable to do that. And then it just started to go from bad to worse. Then I had to start a whole new one. I don't even know. I kind of blocked it out like a nightmare. So I put both videos on private. For the first one, there's no reason it's even on because all it was technical issues. The second one, I'm just going to go in as soon as I can edit it and just cut out that first part so that it starts where it should. Because I'm very much a perfectionist, and since I've been at this house, it's been like so many technical glitches. If it's not something that I do with my phone, where like I just go right into it, and it's not what I want. So if you're looking for last night's video, I'll put it up. It was supposed to have many more headlines, but I do have something special tonight, and I'm going to do it in a different way. I'm just going to do it in the old version way where I'm just on camera, and I'm probably just going to talk to you about it. And when I have to look at any documents or something, I'll just read them off to you. I will probably have a couple of graphics, but it's going to be done old school style, so I don't have to worry about any of the tech stuff. And sometimes that's better. So, I mean, that's where I started. That's where I started. Remember my first Chris Watts video was in my kitchen with the back counter full of all the stuff that I had to review for the Christmas gift guide, that the blog was down, and all I did was talk to you. I had absolutely no graphics. I had nothing. I didn't even have the documents in front of me. I had nothing. I had no laptop in front of me, nothing. I was just talking into a camera at that time that I uploaded. So that's what basically I'm going to do, except this time I'm going to have the laptop, so I will bring up the documents because we're going to go. Hi, Rosalita Marie. We're going to talk about now, this will give you ample time to look this up if you want to, and you can just tell me how many of you have heard about the TikToker, and she is also a YouTuber, started in the beauty makeup influencer, but her retired Marine, and I don't know if he's retired, he's in a coma, okay, but he was a Marine. He is a veteran, and we're going to go into the facts on this. And you might know this, I don't know, thank you, Scout. If you know anything about this, you can let me know. Do you know this? Let me know. Let me see. Jenny Anderson. Okay, Scout. Those can be the best videos. Right. You watched her for about 2 years? You mean Andrea McCrae, really? Then, Jenny Anderson, I really hope you're there because I'd love your take on it. I'd love you to call in and talk to us about it. You were watching Dre's stuff with her husband. Now, Tasha, can I ask, did you follow this influencer before? Because, listen, I don't want to go in there with like a freaking smear campaign. Fawzia, it is going to be, what do I have? I have it set up. It's 11, I believe, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It should be set up. Go to the community tab and there's a link. You can set your timer. Now tell me something, okay? Here's what I want to do. You know me. I am not going to go, hi, Nightmare and Farm Life. I'm not going to go rip somebody apart when, I'm going to get the facts. You can count on me to get the facts. And that's what we're going to do. I think a lot of people are going like with all this drama about it, like, you know, okay. So I'm going in totally objective. I did not watch this woman before. I know only a little bit of what I've researched. I'm going to research more throughout the day, and then we're going to do it together like we do with the deep dives. And I love doing that with you guys. I love doing that. I think that's where I really, my passion and stuff shows through in doing research. I love doing research on something. And look at this, I have my Edisto. But I'll tell you what I do know, okay? What I mean, what the premise is. Okay, she was a makeup and beauty blogger, not blogger, vlogger, TikToker, YouTuber. On TikTok, she has, I have it in the video description, her name, right? It's, what is her name? Now I'm, Exo Cray, something like that. On YouTube, it's just her name, Andrea McCrae. Her husband is named Marvin, but they call him Vaughn, and it's Marvin, Marvon, M-A-R-V-O-N, and they call him Vaughn. They call her Dre McCrae. And they are married for 8 years. And apparently, he served in the Marines. I don't know about TikTok. Shirley said, let's see, hold on. Well, she's on YouTube too. I'm not big on TikTok either. I don't really care. I mean, they're okay for like funny videos, but I don't really understand. Everybody's talking about this. It's crazy. Mountain Vibes, I know, and that's why I'm looking into it, because you can't look away from it. It's there, right? So what's happening is, and again, remember, this is just preliminary because I'm going to go into it. I'm going to research it more throughout the day and go into it tonight. Margot K, whose birthday is it? Oh, happy birthday, Janae. Today's your birthday? Happy birthday, Janae. Kevin Leonard, maybe you know about this. Do you know the Andrea McCrae? Is that Dre McCrae with her husband Vaughn McCrae? Justice for Vaughn is in a coma. You watched her on Facebook. Okay, Jenny. Jenny, could you tell me, prior to this, what were your thoughts on her? Do you think she is exploiting the situation with her husband? Let me give you the gist of what people are talking about. People are saying that she's, okay, critics are saying they think she's going to pull the plug on her husband who's in a coma. You've been watching it, Kevin? Oh, you'd be good too. Fill me in on this stuff. If you can do it behind the scenes, whatever way you want. I'd love to know your thoughts. But tell me, you can correct me too, Kevin, because this is like, you're probably into it way more than me so far. Who's that? Who made the live? Hi, Sherry Ann. So, oh, you're back in the door, Scout? I thought you said you were leaving. Maybe we're just that captivating, right? Okay, so glad you're with us. Now, he had seizures apparently, and you've watched it too, Italian Mama. Hey, Italian Mama. Oh, you're listening? Okay, good, Scout. I thought you were leaving us, but that's good. Be careful. Be careful. You don't want to hit anything, right? No, I know. I'm just joking with you, Scout. I'm being in a goofball mood. Okay. Apparently he had 7 or 8 seizures that she filmed or something. Now, okay, here's the thing. I will say, and I told you, I'm going to be objective. You thought she was very funny and a great makeup artist. She seemed very loving to her husband, and he to her, when I watched, she struggled with fibro Hashimoto's, and I related to her. I thank that, Jenny Anderson, because you know there are a lot of people that just go on the attack of other people, and a lot of times it's jealousy. A lot of time it's because they're more popular than them. A lot of times it's because of many things. So that's why I am resigned that I'm going in with an objective view of this, and I really don't want to watch anything else. I want to read stuff because I'm not getting the emotional or intonations of some other creator and what they are to influence me. I don't want to be influenced. I want to look at the facts, But I am interested in people who have watched her, and that, Jenny, that's very informative. Thank you very much. Jay was giving him something to cause the health issues. Okay, now I was going to get to that too. Causing her daughter and the animals are having seizures as well. Okay, so, hi Tammy. I will learn a lot on it. Oh, so these are some of the things that are circulating. Now, why people are saying this, do they have proof? That's another thing that's really important. People say a lot of things. And the internet is like this big game of telephone, right? People say a lot of things, but you know what I found? Okay, I could come on here and say, XYZ creator just bought 3 new houses, 2 of them burned to the ground. They're being investigated for arson. And an arrest is imminent. It may be, if 2% of the people that listen to me even looked it up, that would be a lot. If they asked me for proof of what I said, that would be a lot. There are so many people that just take what someone says, and then the next thing they do, they're having internet coffee, I'm going to call that, and, going to another chat and saying, hey, did you hear about XYZ blogger? They bought 3 houses, they burned 2 to the ground, it's arson. They're going to be arrested right away. And then it goes on and on and on, and yet there's been no proof, because that's what happens. So, hey there, Carol Clark, it's so good to see you. So that's why I am going to be objective. The only proof I've heard came out of Dre's mouth from her videos. Now tell me what, Tasha, because really I want to hear all sides on this. Please tell me what she said that makes you think that she might have given, as I've read, some type of, I've heard poison mentioned, I've heard chemical substance, something like that. You stopped watching, Jenny? Now, why did you stop watching? So done with it. That's the biggest problem with people spreading this. Exactly, so done with it. And so done with it, not doing. I don't do that. And that's why I have the hashtag facts not fluff. Yes, there is a lot on Google. Look it up. I hope you do look it up before we go live tonight with it. If you want to call in, I can open a Zoom for you guys to call in. I'd love to have your input on it. That's why I wanted to get that out early. So you do have a chance, because a lot of times some people that watch us are not so much in that TikTok culture, pop culture stuff. So, but here's the gist of what is going on. There's a lot of criticism for this woman online. People saying everything from she caused him to have these seizures, that she, I think, went live or did TikToks when he was having these seizures. They felt she didn't have empathy for him when he was having these seizures. And apparently now he's in an irreversible coma. I'm not sure if that, a lot of alarming stuff. Italian Mama, anybody that's telling me that, if you would link, do you want to send me any information where I can see that quickly? Could you please let me see that? I'd love that. Okay. And hi, Sunkist. Yeah, look up the case. Look it up, Sunkist. Now, let's go and say that they're now saying, from what I've read, that he's in this irreversible coma. And she's talking about pulling the plug. Oh, thank you. Use the, if you get, please do the correct email, because I'm not accessing my Mommy Ramblings email yet, because it's just too much to go through. If you put a exclamation point in email, it'll give you my correct email. Okay, thank you, Italian Mama, appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate that, thank you. Because I love to hear what other people are saying, that watch her or that know, because I like to look at all sides. Anyway, so they're saying now, from what I've read, and again, I've just begun researching this, but the critics are saying they think she's going to pull the plug, because she's talking about pulling the plug, or but they're thinking that she might be doing this prematurely in order for views, clicks, whatever, fame. I'm going in with a clean slate. I don't know which way, but the whole story is so upsetting. It is, because there's a man that's in a coma, and there is something way off that the family is not allowed to see him. Now, and I'm just going to say something. Oh, who said that? That's my Carol Clark there. Oh, Carol Clark, you're following this. Wow, Carol Clark, that surprises me, but I'm glad to see that. Maybe you can, if you want to message me or send me anything on your thoughts, I'd love them, because I do really admire you, and your thoughts are always there. It is very sad, Jenny. So is this definitely an irreversible coma? I mean, from what you guys have heard, there is no hope here. I mean, there's always hope, okay? There's always hope. And while someone has life, there's hope. There's miracles. But are they saying medically right now that doctors think this is an irreversible coma, that he will never come out of this? Does he have brain activity? Can anybody clue me in on that? Or is he clinically brain dead? I don't know, because I didn't do much on the coma and research on it yet. I have only, oh, you have heard no brain activity? Oh, okay, Italian mama, 7 doctors. Oh boy, okay, I gotcha. Well, if that is truly the case, that's a really, that's heart-wrenching for the family. That's heart-wrenching. I don't know much about his family, if his parents are alive, do they have children? Sherry, I don't know. I was wondering if that had anything to do with the pandemic. I am wondering if it had anything to do with strained relationships or whatever. I don't know. What? Yes, they're Andrea McRae, known as Dre McRae, and Vaughn, Mar Vaughn, but they call him Vaughn, and 3 beautiful children. Wow. Okay. So is she letting the children see him? What do you need, Ethan? What do you think?
No, I was going to ask about the timeline, chronology of who signed up for what or what days.
What if that was my son? Good luck keeping you out. Yes, I see that. Exactly. So yeah, I have to do more research, and I will gladly accept any views, any links, anything like that you want to send on to me, and look at them. And of course, Carol Clark, please let me know your views, because I do know you and I respect your opinions and your insight. And anybody, Italian Mama and Jenny Anderson, anybody that wants to send anything through. And if you want to call in tonight, that would be great. Kevin, of course. I don't know if Scooter's following this, because she usually gets into stuff like this in pop culture, but I don't know. This seemed to just explode, and I don't know whether it's because it exploded because she mentioned taking him off life support. Is that what caused this to really explode? Because it exploded, like as of, what is it, July 12th, I think is when it just exploded. And then, which was yesterday, right? Or 13th. What is, I don't even know. Is today the 4th? Tomorrow's the 14th, right? Yeah, so yesterday it kind of exploded, right? And I know it was building before then, but now it's like you can't not see it. It's there. It's everywhere. So, okay, I've heard that. Now, is her TikTok still active? Because I heard that she removed some videos, the videos of his seizures, I guess, that she was taping. But back to the seizures. I would be in jail. I would sneak in dressed as a worker to get to my son. Yeah, Sherry, right? We would do anything. Okay, so what was my question? I just had my question. Oh, regarding her with the seizures, you know, there are people and there are doctors that will say if someone is experiencing symptoms and they're hard to describe, send me a video of what's going on. I don't know that she was doing that to share that with her audience out of concern. I don't know. But I imagine she could have been, okay, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. She has been alive and is complete. She has not been live and is completely quiet. I could see if she was very connected to people and didn't know what was going on with her husband, that she could have done that in whatever state, okay, that she might be in, that just like, I don't know what's going on, like kind of crying out for help, not knowing what the heck was happening to her husband, which could have made her very upset. Okay, and again, I don't know the woman, right? And people will say, oh, she had no empathy for her husband, she had no this. But you can't base, okay, how many times have you seen people on the internet, people on Facebook that look like they're so happily married? They have a date night every day, you know, one day a week. They have vacations together. I told you about one of my friends, right? I told you that she was on Facebook. They have 4 beautiful girls. They were building their dream home, okay? They had just had another home. They moved into, and then now they were building their dream home. She was a registered nurse. He was an engineer. And 4 beautiful girls together. And they would post on Facebook, you know, and they were this very attractive couple. And in hindsight, it was a pregnancy group of ours that we all met on. And some people would say, you know, I would always feel bad, or something like, oh, they're going on another trip, or oh, they always make time for their date night, or oh, they always do this, they always do that, they always do this. And getting a little down because either they had a sick kid and date night had to be canceled, or they didn't have the money to go to Hawaii like these people, right? Lo and behold, she comes into our group. We have a private group, right? And we've been together since 2007. And says, you're not going to flip and believe this. He had lost his job, okay? Things were tough. The economy was tough. He was looking for another job. He got another job. He'd like lose another job. So he essentially started to be like Mr. Mom. And their kids were very active. They were in like swim lessons, swim team and tennis team. And they were selling that house. Remember, they were building their dream house. Well, she finds out he slept with the realtor. He slept with the realtor while she's working 12-hour shifts as a registered nurse. He's sleeping with the realtor in her bed. And I was close with her, and I asked her, I said, were there any red flags? She said no, he was wanting to be with her intimately, like nonstop, and that's why she was so afraid that, oh my gosh, if he gave me anything, because that's not the only thing. How she originally found out. Now, you want to hear how this woman found out? I'll tell you how she found out. One of her nurse friends said, I don't know how to tell you this. She was a single nurse. She was looking on Tinder one night, and she found my friend's husband on Tinder. Okay? So she told her. She's devastated, of course, absolutely devastated. She ends up going through like the computers in the house, finding he had multiple Facebook accounts, multiple dating apps. Oh, Sherry, it is so much worse than you even can imagine. He was advertising. No, he was answered an ad. She saw his emails. Listen to this one. Somebody on Craigslist. You know what? It's so funny. Craigslist, right? they act like they're like ethically superior by saying like, we don't allow selling of puppies on Craigslist, but they allow like, come watch my wife and I together or sleep with my wife while I watch. That's okay. That's exactly what he responded to. Some guy saying, come sleep with my wife, do this XYZ to her while I watch. He did that, okay? She was like puking because she's thinking like, what the hell? So she found so much crap, so many people he slept with, so many disgusting things that he did, and threesomes. Like, and she was like, oh my gosh, if I have an STD, if I have like an incurable STD, she's like, I'm gonna. So we were like all praying for her. Thank God she had nothing. She then confronts him, and you know what he says? I have a sexual addiction. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And she was so angry. She went through like all these stages of grief, right? And then she got to the point, I remember she said, I'm so angry. I'm so angry. And she said, you know what? I almost feel like and this is, you know, you cannot, no one's accountable for the kind of grief they go through. But she just said, like, she had always been working, she had always been faithful and this and that. And could not believe how violated she felt because she found out even the realtor, okay, and was in her bed, okay, while the kids were at swim lessons in between. So now she has this house, this big house that's under construction. She had her parents around, so they were supportive, but he kept playing the victim, like, and then the parents, his parents, kept doing that too, like, what's wrong with you? You know, how could you do this to him? He's got a problem. It's not his fault. And she was saying, no, I don't want to do it. And then he started to work on the kids, you know. So when he would have the kids, he would tell the kids, like, Mommy doesn't want me to come home. I really want to come home, but Mommy doesn't want me to. Mommy wants to punish me, you know, high snow remover. So this is a long story to tell you that appearances are not what they seem. And when you see a couple, whether you see them on social media, you see them interacting and they're all lovey-dovey and kissy-huggy and everything, that doesn't mean sometimes, just like people say, oh, he brought you flowers. Why do you bring you flowers? Yeah, it could be that he's a nice guy, but it could be that he's a guilty conscience, right? So they could be extremely loving and affectionate and this and that to hide what they're doing behind the scenes. And that's why I'm saying, with all of what goes on YouTube and what I've seen, and the misinformation, and the people that think they know what they're talking about, and they don't know what they're talking about, that I'm going in this objective. And so if someone says that she had no empathy for her husband, I'm going to look at it that, oh, so do you think that, you know, if somebody's not all over their husband or not this or that, that means something? No, because I've seen it. I've lived long enough to see situations not maybe as absolutely screwed up as that one, but it had, okay, and let me just give you an update on that. That was like several years ago. She moved into that big house, but then she sold it and she moved she moved in the state that her parents were from. So it was like a 2 states different, away from each other. She moved there. She ended up meeting someone, and I believe it was someone she knew from her past. They got married, and guess what? They had twin girls. So now they have 6 girls. But so far, you know, he's treating her well, but you know, now she's going through a lot of stuff because divorce isn't easy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the person you divorced could have been a bastard or whatever. The kids of divorce will always have a dream that their parents will reconcile. Always. It's always a dream. Even if it's like, even if they know how bad things were. And so right now her daughter's going through like a lot of that, even though she knows what he did to her. Of course, the teenage things, when the teenagers act out, they're going to say like, oh, this, that, and the other thing. But anyway, long story short, to say, I have to see, and even what we see, we don't know what they're doing. We don't know if someone's having a bad day. We don't know what's going on in their lives. So I'm going to judge someone's, everybody has a different love style, and some people don't want to put that out there, or that, so I don't know. Okay, I haven't, again, I have never watched a video of hers at all. And so I'm going to go into that. But still, we've seen it 1,000 times. How many times have you seen people that are like all over each other on reality shows or something, and meanwhile they're cheating like crazy behind their back, right? So yeah. And then we've seen other couples who have gone through hell and back with either tragedies or, kids being murdered, kids being killed, their families being murdered, and they've weathered the storm together. That's not to say the ride's been easy. It's not to say anything like that, but they've weathered it, and good days, bad days, it's reality. So I'm not so much looking to analyze her feelings on him so much as I want to deal with the facts of the case. Like, when did the seizure start? Did he have PTSD from the Marines? What was his discharge like from the Marines? When did she start vlogging? That's what I want to ask myself and find the answers to. How quickly did her channel take off? Was he involved in the channel from the start? Was her channel merely beauty and makeup tips? Did it evolve to vlogging? Did she bring her family into it from the get-go? Just stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then about, like, were there really 7 videos made on seizures, or was it one time? So what's the truth? What's real, right? You couldn't even get through a full week. Okay. I'm going to take a look at it, Tasha. And again, I haven't seen it. I'm going to be completely upfront. I've been doing research, going through like articles, things like that. I'm not watching other creators' videos. I don't want to be influenced like that. I want to make my own inferences into what I see. I will watch some of them, but I'm interested if you, yeah, I want to get the background. You know what I mean? I don't want to be just going off hearsay or something like that. But I am interested in people that have watched her, and people like Jenny Anderson said she really liked her and really related to her. So she must have some kind of, a good rapport, where people did like her. Because there are, as we see, someone can rise to popularity and then people get jealous, right? So, yeah, Dre and Marvon McRae, and they call him Vaughn, and her real name is Andrea. Dre's videos are more than enough. Okay, the videos, hey, Sherry M., you upgraded to Sergeant. Thank you so much. This is new to me too. I've never seen them before. Then again, I'm not, right, and I'm not on TikTok either. I mean, I have a TikTok account, but I'm hardly ever on there. I don't even know the last time I've been on there. I'm wondering, are these videos on YouTube? Hi, Chris Reed. Do you watch her too? I'd be interested to hear what you think. Honestly, I haven't seen one video of hers. Are you watching on YouTube or are you watching on TikTok? Both? What? Is she talking about pulling the plug? Is that correct also? Is that I'm just getting from an article? Is that correct? I've seen the clip videos on YouTube. Okay, be careful, Tasha. She has taken them down. Oh, so you can't watch the original. I was going to say, Tasha, watch the original. Chris, you've only watched on Facebook. You know why? Because people can take a video of someone's, just like, you know, like on 90 Day Fiance, there's editing that makes things look like they really weren't. I hadn't heard she was going to pull. Okay. Money will stop if she pulls the plug, Linda said. Okay, but people have mentioned that she's not letting the, are her videos up on Facebook? Jenny, what is her is it under her name on Facebook? Because I also heard she had a business. Is that decorating bling on a dime or something? Is that correct, bling on a dime? I don't know if that's her Facebook business or she has a website. I haven't looked that far into it, bling on a dime. Oh, thanks, Jerry. We love you and so glad to have you here with us. Oh, it's Slay with Dre McRae. Thank you, Jenny. Are videos still up there, Jenny? She's hid all her original. I heard all the doctors are suggesting. I see. Well, Tasha, as they would when someone, I mean, unfortunately, I've had to live that with my mother. And I was beside myself. I was beside myself. Did not want to do that. Did not want to do that and said I wouldn't do it. And my other siblings and even my father at the time said, you know, this is, and my father, oh my gosh, parents had been together since my mother was 15, and it was horrendous, but she had a massive stroke and she had no brain activity, and I just stayed in the hospital with her day and night. I spent the nights there. And her cardiologist was a cardiologist that was so so wonderful, so that he loved my parents so much that, I mean, this man, from the moment the ambulance brought her in, he was there and he told me, Carolyn, this is bad, this is bad. This man cried over my mother countless times, cried over the situation. I mean, you know, but finally, you know, he took me aside and he said, listen, there's no reversing this. She's not going to come out of this. She had, you know, like we waited, the CAT scans and EEGs, all that stuff. No brain activity, none. And so, yeah, it's, you know, I mean, they will tell you that. So, I mean, and a lot of families every single day have to make a choice like that. And it's not easy. And so, if that is where they are, you know, and this is her husband of 8 years, the father of 3 of her children, I mean, you can't say, I mean, a lot of people are so cruel on the internet, right? And they're just like, oh, well, you know, she didn't love him. How do you know that? You know? But what about his kids? You know, so I'm just going to say, that's what I'm saying. I am going to go in and find this out, just what I can, but I'm not going to go in like for the smear drama attacks. I want to get the facts of it. It's something that people are talking about. You saw her last video updating. He had been off of the ventilator. Okay, so essentially that is, if he's off the ventilator, Chris Ree, that's what they're taking them off when they talk about pulling the plug. I will see on my own. That's exactly, Kevin, and I will. You know me. I will see on my own. I will. But that's what I want. I just don't want to go into like a drama fest. I'll see it on my, you know me. I mean, I call it the Stouffer situation. My daughter came and he's on a trach now. Okay, he's on a trach now. Oh, okay. I think you're going into it the right way. I approached it much the same way. By the way, he is not off the vent. You can see it. Okay. It's truly a mess. I imagine it is. He is breathing on his own, and she says his vitals are good. Okay, but Chris Reed, does she say he has no brain activity? Does she live in Florida? Can someone tell me if she lives in Florida? What state is she in? She's in Arizona. Thank you, Carol Clark. Linda says it's the most. Linda, you've kept up with this case? I'm only going by what she said. Oh, okay, Chris Reed. Oh, I understand. I appreciate it, Chris Reed. Yeah, that's the person to hear it from, right? The person's mouth. That's the person to hear it from, Chris Reed. You're absolutely 100% correct. She didn't say anything. Okay. So Chris Reed, she hasn't said anything about brain activity. Chris Reed, do you know where that's coming from? You do watch it, Linda? See, you and Carol Clark surprised me, Linda. I don't know why. I just think I learn new things every day. I don't know. I don't know. Margot. Look at that. Looks like, doesn't that look like an alligator with legs, that cloud? See the eye and see the alligator mouth? And actually, no, it looks like the alligator's tail and the feet are under it. Look at that. I like looking at clouds. I've looked at them from both sides now. In between. Life's illusions I have seen. I really didn't know clouds at all. She said in her last video, he had a physical therapist and they have him sitting in a cardiac chair every day. Okay, well, for his sake, I hope that's true, right? But where did the brain activity stuff come from? Is that hearsay, speculation, sources? I love how sources say. Yes, I saw that, Linda. She sells herbs over the net. Linda, is that how you know her? Like, I've heard that too about the herbs. And what I'm surmising, without going completely into that, is someone thinking that these herbs, I know, like they said, I did read kratom and kava, right? Kratom and kava. And they were saying something about some, some diet she was on that they felt she was pushing and had kratom and kava and doses her family. Exactly. Okay, that's what I did here. Oh no. Okay, Linda, gotcha. I thought maybe some. I'm trying to. What the heck word am I? Controversial diet. Ativan with it, Carol. So she's using herbs and stuff, but she's also using benzodiazepines. Wow. Oh, Linda, I don't know if that's going to be the best source for facts for you. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, if that's your source, okay, enough said. But yeah, yeah, I'll try to look into some things. I could tell you some things. Benzodiazepines from Mexico, from a pharmacy in Mexico, right? Something like that. But why is she pushing benzodiazepines? She's not giving those to her children. It's not my source. Oh no, I know, Carol. I was just telling Linda she might not be aware. Okay, but why is she using benzo? Is she using the benzo? Yeah, Chris Reed. Yeah, I wouldn't either. Not that doesn't scream facts. That screams like controversy and conspiracy to me, but that's just my opinion. Hi, Mike. Mike, do you know about this? You know about this too, Mike? Wow, another shocker. So Carol, Clark, Linda, and Mike all shocked me that they know about this. Illegally. She jokes about it on her videos. She uses benzos too, she said. So, okay, what about the benzos? They're for her? She started with Ativan because the doctor prescribed it. They changed over to natural remedies for his seizures. Oh, for him. This is what, okay, so these benzos are for him? Okay, I'm going to ask a silly question. If he is a former Marine, if they're for him, you're in everyone's, yeah, I'm not shocked that you're in everyone's business. No, Kevin. Then why does she have to get them from Mexico? Because wouldn't the doctors, especially with him in the hospital, be prescribing them, and he should have good insurance? I'm confused on why she has to go to Mexico. Usually I thought people that do that because they don't have insurance or their insurance doesn't cover that and they need to get medications. Or, unfortunately, they want more of a medication than you're a wildling. Or they want more of a medication that they shouldn't be having because they're abusing it. And I've heard that. That's why some people flock to different countries for pharmacies. I can't listen to certain, I don't have the patience for stupidity. Exactly, Sherry. She did get something from Mexico. I don't know if it's benzos. She didn't say what she used. She didn't say she used them, but she said she gets Ativan and Xanax. Why anybody would even talk about medications like that? Not for anything, but with the addiction in this country, the way it is, and if people know where she lives, and obviously people know where she lives, you know, it's scary. But you guys are filling me in on quite a bit. Did anyone answer? Does she have that business, Bling? Exactly, Kevin. Exactly what I'm thinking. You know, someone that's addicted to that stuff. Oh boy, I don't know why anybody would be talking about that on the internet. What they're taking, what they're getting, where they're getting it. I don't think that's safe, but that's just me. Blinging on a budget. Now, Jenny, where is that? Is that a website? Is it a channel? Is it an additional channel? Is it a Facebook page? What exactly is that? I don't know. I'm not someone who would do anything. Exactly, Tasha. Oh, it's paparazzi jewelry. Okay. Got you. I thought it was like home decor. That's a, you know, I'm telling you. She's in, okay, an MLM, okay. I think it's her Facebook. So the paparazzi jewelry, they have videos frequently, don't they? To sell their jewelry on Facebook? I believe they do, correct? And the reason I know that is because it's funny, I was just telling Scooter this the other day. We were talking about, you know, who sees, like, who watching a video, because, you know, there was something she's told before about her daughter being on D Live, and she was watching this storyteller or something, and he would have so few people in his chat, and she would just click into there, and he would immediately call out her name, and she'd be like, I can't leave because he sees me. And I said, oh my gosh, I had the same experience on Facebook, because something came up like so-and-so is live, and it was like someone in my friends list, right? But I didn't really know the person, because I used to be in like review groups and stuff like that. So there were a lot of people I was friends with that I really wasn't like close friends at all with. So I clicked on it, and I saw I was the only one watching her. And this woman that didn't know me, and it's so funny because my daughter and I were together, and I think we were in a Burger King or something, right? And she goes like this, hi, Carolyn. Right? I'm like, I didn't even know who she was. And my daughter goes, what do you do? I go, I don't know, but she sees me, and I'm the only one here. And then I was just praying for other people to join, because I felt terrible. I didn't want to just walk out, right? Because she had no one there. But oh my gosh. So yeah, I was just telling Scooter that. But yeah, a lot of those consultants go live and do that. But on Facebook, they can see you, and so they'll call out your name. And if you're like one of two people, you feel like really awkward, if you care about people's feelings, to just like walk away, right? So I don't know what happened. I think ended up maybe like a few more people joined, and then I just watched for, I guess, what I thought was a good amount of time, and then just said I had to go because we were getting out of there or something. Out of her mouth, okay, let's see what it says. She said the day Vaughn had 8 seizures in a row, she said she didn't call 911 or get him help. Oh, okay, because he has a DNR. Well, that doesn't sound nice at all. What would a DNR, if he's just having seizures, why is she thinking he would just die? Mike says the gal does street drugs, whippets. What are whippets? Mike, what are whippets? On her videos and goes out of her mind. What the heck is a whippet, Mike? You will understand. I will, Kevin, but I want you to see I'm going in with a, clear. And that's why, like, I want to stay, like, so objective. Yeah, I thought they were dogs. Yeah, Jenny. Right. Whippets, yeah. What the heck is a whippet? You think he was wanting to divorce her? Okay. Kevin, how did you get that? Have a whiteboard handy. Okay, I probably will need one. Maybe we should create, you know what, guys? Maybe we should create a Slack group, and those of you that are in Slack that have watched this, we can discuss in there. Maybe that might be good. I think there is a whiteboard in Slack. Would you guys be open to that if I added you to a Slack group to talk about this? Or you could put stuff in there, maybe? I don't know, and I never want to try just some kind of street drug. And it's called a whippet? You need to join that, Jenny? Sure, send me an email, okay, to the Carolyn at TrueCrime chat, okay? Yeah, I think this is going to be, I'm going to need to get up to speed here. I think he was wanting to leave her in 2019. Okay. Hey, Sherry, you like whipped cream too much. Yeah, I'll be interested to ask. I just spoke to my son Michael just called me with Gia. They were on their way to the dry cleaner because he's bringing a suit for this function we're going to, right? And it's so funny because Gia and I think so much alike. And so they always call me on speakerphone. So they were asking me something about how much money to give at this thing. And it's so funny because my son said something and then I said something and they both stop and they go, and she goes, and my son laughs and Gia goes, see? Because she said the exact same thing as me. So I think she loves it because this is like the fourth time this has happened. And I forget what the other things were about, but she laughs like crazy because she goes, your mother said the same thing as me. And then, you know, she feels all validated and I feel good, like, okay, we're thinking on the same wavelength, but it's very funny. But anyway, I'm gonna have to ask them because I wonder if they've heard of my daughter, because my daughter got into that whole debacle with remember that one that said she rehomed her son? Stauffer. Whatever happened with them? Does anybody know what happened to Stauffer? Does she still have her vlog channel or did she let that go? Like, I mean, did she ever add any videos? I know her husband had a big detailing channel that was huge. Maybe we should do a thing like, where are they now? What happened to the Stauffers? She put cayenne in his mouth. Okay, this looks like I'm going to have to do a lot of research and probably a Slack group on this. And I just merely meant to tell you guys to set your timers for 11 p.m. tonight. And we're going to do it old school. I'm surprised, Jeanette. Usually you will come in with like a wealth of information. Hey there, Anne-Marie. How are you? You don't know them? I've been keeping an open mind. I don't know how I'd react. I think it's possible she's in denial. Christy, that's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to say. You can think you know how you're going to react to something, but unless something's happened to you, there's a lot of denial that goes on, especially when you're dealing with someone, you know, close to you that you love, that's a part of your life. If something's happening, one of our defense mechanisms is denial. Is being numb. And I've described that many times when you lose a child, and it's like universal from my research, and I've read many books on it, and the parents have all explained the exact same thing when they finally get the message and something goes from your head down to your feet and you are completely numb. And I mean numb. You don't feel anything. You are numb. You're like in a trance state. And I truly think it's something God does to us because I don't think anybody could make it through without that. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about this woman. But that's what I want to keep an open mind, Christy, because I don't know exactly what's going on. And I'm, like I always say, I'm from Missouri, even though I'm not, because it's a show me state. I don't know why it's not. New York should really be the show me state. New York should be like receipts or it didn't happen state. How can we make something go viral like that? Like, how did Missouri get to be the show me state? Somebody had to come up with that. And then there was no internet to make it go viral. Okay, so Why can't we get New York is the receipts or it didn't happen state? Why can't it just start something like that? Where are you from? I'm from New York. It's receipts or it didn't happen, right? How do you make some? Yes, 11 p.m. tonight. How do you make something like that go viral? I'm just wondering. Like, and especially, how did it go then? Like all the little slogans, and how did something like that go viral? Like, leopard doesn't change its spots. There had to be one person, and that stuff. I know it sounds crazy, but I want to track down the origins of all that stuff. I've always been interested in that. Ugh. I think I just had a daddy long leg on me. Sorry. She has supporters, and they have been all over YouTube. Okay, well, that's good. The Big Apple, I know, but how about the Big Apple? Show me receipts. It didn't happen, or it didn't happen. I know you're the show me state, but why, farm wife? Because that my mother used to say the same thing, or they used to always say about my mother. They used to say, "Oh, she's from Missouri," because my mother was like that too. Show me, or it didn't happen. You know, I'm not going to believe freaking hearsay. My mother was the exact same way. People say a lot of things. I told you a long time ago how I learned. There used to be a store in the town over here. And it's very funny because it was actually my mother who knew the woman first, way before me. And let's say the guy was probably 45 at the time, and he married this woman, and she was 25 at the time. But she wasn't like, you're thinking probably like trophy wife soup. No, she wasn't that. But I don't know whether she had worked in the store or whatever. My mother knew her way before. And we ended up that we had, she had a daughter when I had Ray. They ended up going to school together and stuff. But through the PTA and everything, we were together. And she always knew everything about everyone in the town. And you're thinking like, okay, well, she's married to this shop owner. She probably hears all this stuff, sees all this stuff. She's probably a credible source, right? Well, what I found out, no, she wasn't. Most of the stuff, I think she said to make people think she knew stuff. And I'll tell you what she did once, and it was just crazy. She went around saying, okay, one of my friends married this family that ran a newspaper. And they had several versions. Her husband was like the third. Okay, so I'm not going to give their real name, but like, let's just say Bill Bradley, the third. And William Bradley, let's do that, the third. And so this woman, after a PTA meeting, goes like this, and I'm going to not give the lady's real name either. Can you believe, Cheryl, the family is so mad at her because she ended up having a baby. It was a boy. I don't even know if she knew it was a boy ahead of time, but she had said if it was a boy. After two girls, and this was the only son at the newspaper, so this child, if it was a boy, would carry on the family name. So she said, do you know, Cheryl said, told the family, I cannot name this child William Bradley IV. I will not do it. And I said, really? And she said, oh yes, because she's Jewish. And you can't name after the living, you have to name after the dead. So, like, yes, I know that, and I know I have a lot of Jewish friends, and they have the naming ceremonies, and they do name after dead relatives, yes, or use the first initial. Of course, now I'm thinking, like, wow, I didn't think that they were Jewish. Not that I have, like I said, I have a lot of Jewish friends, but I just and I saw her in mass so many times, and the kids are in catechism, and I'm saying, are you sure about this? And she goes, yeah, yeah, I'm positive. I'm like, okay, all right, all right. Then I talked to my friend on the phone, and she's telling me about names and stuff. And I was like thinking, she's saying this, that, and the other thing. Anyway, the baby is born, the baby's a boy, and the baby is not named after the husband. And a few months later, we meet at a wedding because we had a wedding of a mutual friend. And I don't know how it came out, but I said something to her and said something like, well, I don't know. No, I think I wished her like a happy Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah. And she goes, Carolyn, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, it's the high holy days, happy Rosh Hashanah, happy New Year. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I said, you don't celebrate Rosh Hashanah? And she goes, Carolyn, I'm Catholic. And I said, what? And she goes, what are you talking? So I told her, long story short, I told her what this person told me. And she said, not only am I like Catholic, but do you know that William, and not his real name again, and I met at a Catholic university. And the reason we met is because our last names, in alphabetical order, we sat next to each other in the graduation, and that's when we met. And I said, oh my gosh. And then when I said, the reason she told me this is she said, because the family's all upset with you. She goes, Carolyn, I wanted to name this baby William Bradley the Fourth. You know who didn't want to name it William Bradley the Fourth? Her husband, because he was so sick and tired of always being called little blah, 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 little William, He said, I don't want to saddle my son with that. And so this is why I say, even when someone says, oh, you got to take this because this is coming from this person that lives in that town and they know everything about everyone. Receipts or it didn't happen. Listen to get it from the horse's mouth, not from the ass. And by ass, I mean jackass. That's going around. So, yeah. So, that, I constantly want to put this as receipts or it didn't it happened. And I'm going to start hashtag New York. I'm going to start saying that, yeah, I'm from New York, the state of receipts or it didn't happen. Maybe it will catch on. It's somebody had to start it somewhere. So anyway, but that's what I'm going to do. And I hope that you meet me over there at 11. Right now, I'm going to go put on my bathing suit and jump into this body of water that we call a fake lake. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm going to do some reading on this. It was a nice night last night. We started our new book, and everybody really liked it. We had a lot of people in the Zoom with us. It was very fun, and a lot of you ladies chatted up until, I'd probably say, mid-morning. And so I think you had a nice night connecting with friends, and I'll talk to you guys later. Love you guys, and I hope to see you at 11. All right? Bye-bye. Yes, I want to stop streaming, but I can't see